Hello, fellow riders and true crime enthusiasts. Welcome back to Life of Bikers, where we bring you thrilling stories from the world of motorcycles and beyond. Today, we're diving into a gripping tale that has captivated audiences worldwide, double-crossed, inside the Antonio Bagnato case and the rise of the new Mafia. This investigation expands on our previous video with new, never-before-seen details. So, buckle up and get ready for an intense ride through the dark underbelly of organized crime. Antonio Bagnato, a name that sends shivers down the spine of many, is at the center of our story. Born in 1982 in Australia, Bagnato's life took a drastic turn when he became entangled with the notorious criminal underworld. His rise to infamy began in the early 2000s, a time when the landscape of organized crime was rapidly changing. The traditional mafia organizations were evolving, adapting to new technologies and expanding their operations globally. Bagnato's journey into the criminal world started in Sydney, where he quickly made a name for himself as a formidable enforcer. He was known for his ruthlessness and ability to get the job done, no matter the cost. His reputation soon caught the attention of higher-ups in the criminal hierarchy, and he was recruited into a powerful syndicate. This marked the beginning of his rise in the ranks of the new Mafia. The new Mafia, unlike the traditional crime families, operates with a more modern and sophisticated approach. They utilize advanced technology for communication, money laundering, and drug trafficking. This evolution has made them more elusive and harder to track for law enforcement agencies around the world. Bagnato thrived in this environment, using his skills and connections to climb the ladder of organized crime. In 2015, Bagnato's name made headlines when he was implicated in the brutal murder of Wayne Schneider, a well-known Australian Hells Angels biker and drug trafficker. Schneider was found dead in Pattaya, Thailand, after being abducted from his villa. The murder was particularly gruesome, with Schneider's body showing signs of severe torture. Bagnato was quickly identified as the prime suspect, and an international manhunt ensued. The Thai police, in collaboration with Australian authorities, managed to apprehend Bagnato after a few days on the run. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and he was convicted of Schneider's murder in 2017. He was sentenced to death, a verdict that shocked many but also highlighted the severity of his crimes. But the story doesn't end there. In 2024, new information came to light, revealing deeper connections and more sinister plots involving Bagnato and his associates. It became clear that Schneider's murder was not an isolated incident, but part of a larger power struggle within the new Mafia. This power struggle involved various factions vying for control over lucrative drug trafficking routes and territories. Our investigation uncovered that Bagnato was not merely an enforcer, but a key player in orchestrating these power shifts. He had forged alliances with other criminal organizations across Asia and Europe, creating a vast network that operated with military precision. This network was involved in everything from drug trafficking and money laundering to contract killings and extortion. One of the most shocking revelations was the extent to which Bagnato's network had infiltrated legitimate businesses and government institutions. They used these connections to launder money, evade law enforcement, and expand their operations. This level of corruption and influence is reminiscent of the traditional Mafia's golden era, but with a modern twist. We also discovered that Bagnato had been collaborating with cybercriminals to carry out sophisticated hacking operations. These hacks targeted financial institutions, law enforcement databases, and rival criminal organizations. The stolen data was used for blackmail, financial gain, and strategic advantage. This cyber aspect of the new Mafia's operations has made them even more dangerous and difficult to combat. In our previous video, we touched on the impact of Schneider's murder on the biker community and the subsequent crackdown on organized crime. However, new details reveal that the aftermath was far more complex and far-reaching than initially understood. The power vacuum left by Schneider's death led to a violent turf war among rival biker gangs and Mafia factions. This war resulted in numerous casualties and a significant increase in criminal activity in the region. Law enforcement agencies around the world were forced to adapt their strategies to tackle this new breed of organized crime. International cooperation became crucial, with agencies sharing intelligence and resources to dismantle these networks. However, the new Mafia's ability to adapt and evolve has made them a formidable adversary. One of the key figures in the fight against the new Mafia is Interpol's Organized Crime Division. They have been instrumental in coordinating efforts to track and apprehend high-profile targets like Bagnato. Their work has led to several major busts, including the seizure of large quantities of drugs and the arrest of key members of Bagnato's network. In 2024, Interpol launched Operation Blackout, a massive crackdown on the new Mafia's operations across multiple countries. This operation was a culmination of years of investigative work and collaboration between various law enforcement agencies. It resulted in the arrest of over 200 individuals and the dismantling of several major criminal enterprises. Despite these successes, the fight against the new Mafia is far from over. Bagnato's network, though weakened, continues to operate in the shadows. They have adapted once again, using even more sophisticated methods to evade detection and carry out their illicit activities. This ongoing battle highlights the need for continuous innovation and cooperation among law enforcement agencies worldwide. As we delve deeper into Bagnato's story, it becomes clear that his rise and fall are emblematic of the broader changes within the world of organized crime. The new Mafia, with its blend of traditional criminal tactics and modern technology, represents a significant threat to global security. Understanding their operations and adapting our strategies to combat them is crucial in this ever-evolving landscape. In addition to the law enforcement perspective, our investigation also sheds light on the personal side of Bagnato's story. Interviews with former associates, family members, and insiders provide a glimpse into his psyche and motivation. Bagnato was not just a ruthless criminal, he was a complex individual shaped by his environment and experiences. One of the most poignant interviews was with a former associate who spoke about Bagnato's early years. According to him, Bagnato grew up in a troubled household with a father who was frequently in and out of prison. This instability and exposure to crime from a young age likely influenced his path. Despite this, Bagnato showed promise in his youth, excelling in school and sports. However, the lure of the criminal world proved too strong to resist. Another key interview was with a former law enforcement officer who had tracked Bagnato for years. He described Bagnato as a highly intelligent and calculating individual who was always one step ahead. This officer emphasized the importance of understanding the mindset of criminals like Bagnato to effectively combat their operations. Our investigation also explores the impact of Bagnato's crimes on his victims and their families. The brutal nature of his actions left a trail of devastation, with many still grappling with the aftermath. Interviews with the families of Schneider and other victims provide a sobering reminder of the human cost of organized crime. As we conclude this investigation, it's clear that the story of Antonio Bagnato and the rise of the new Mafia is far from over. The ever-changing landscape of organized crime requires constant vigilance and adaptation. While significant strides have been made in combating these criminal networks, the fight continues. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the dark world of Antonio Bagnato and the new Mafia. If you found this investigation compelling, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Life of Bikers for more thrilling stories and updates. Stay safe out there, and remember, the road to justice is long and winding, but together we can make a difference. Until next time, ride safe and keep your eyes open. This is Life of Bikers signing off.